Alright, I'm back playing more System Shock 2. that's how our kids have figured out. Our kids have figured out how to use the Alexa announcement system, so they're just constantly doing it all the time now, even when they're supposed to be sleeping. So I keep getting "Daddy's the worst" coming out of Alexa all the time. It just makes me feel good. So last week I started playing System Shock 2, which is not the only or original, but probably like the father of FPS RPGs, like the modern FPS RPG. So things like Skyrim and things like BioShock and actually like most RPGs these days have sort of inventories and crafting and stats and skills and things. And System Shock is a really important game in that what's the right word? Genealogy of games. Hugely influential. Probably I believe the first game to have like audio diaries. So last week we were stranded on a ship. The FTL, the first ever FTL ship, has gone to Tau Ceti 5, and something's gone wrong, and all the crew are dead. And we're exploring the ship, trying to figure out what's happened, as that sort of game tends to be. And I'm currently in engineering. So the stream last week got kind of aborted because I think Twitch went down. So I was chatting away, exploring the fluidics tunnels, and apparently no one was able to see. Like I think it was about 5 minutes or something. No one saw, but I was just talking a bit about Tomb Raider's music. I wasn't saying anything really important. So I came back from the tunnels. I don't think I did anything else. So if you missed the stream, I went down the tunnels. I explored in that room. I think I explored in that room. And then I just came back here. And I think the next place I need to go is down here and up that elevator there, I think, maybe? Because that seems to be showing... Oh no, I need to get to here. I need to get to the upper level, probably. How do I get to the upper level? I don't know. I'm going to go explore and see what I can find. Sometimes the map is useful and sometimes the map is not useful. Can anyone hear if my voice is coming through okay? It was a bit crackly last week, apparently. Let's see if I can remember how to play. I was supposed to be streaming Rome 2 today, but I actually just wanted to play more System Shock. I was kind of sad to stop last week. It's a good game. Okay, so there's a main power offline. Who's this guy? That's creepy. Oh. Oh! Okay. Wasn't really expecting that. Oh. I should have quick saved. How low is my health? Probably very low. Oh, 9, right, yeah, okay. Oh, it's that kind of game. That's an interesting mechanical topic. Is what, regenerating health? Halo really transformed the the FPS genre. Well, action genre, I suppose. Probably it doesn't really matter if it's an FPS. And I think it's starting to change back now. But Halo sort of made Halo had health that regenerate. Oh, there is a turret. Oh, okay. All right. Halo gave you regenerating health, and that was a huge convenience improvement because prior to that, most FPSs had sort of health packs lying around, and you sort of just ran around from place to place, picking up health packs, and that was a component of the game, and Halo kind of dispensed with that by just having your health automatically regenerate. And of course the engineering control, that sounds like where we want to go. The impact of that, other than oh, okay, there's a shotgun, a jammed shotgun.
God, get me out of here! I've recoded a lot
game, Cargo Bay 2. It hugely improved the convenience and quality of life of playing. Oh, hi Theo. It hugely improved the quality of life, but at the same time it sort of trivialised... Oh, there's those turrets again. It meant that resources no longer mattered. And I think that had a pervasively... I don't want to say negative, that's the wrong way of thinking about it, but it had a pervasively significant effect on game design. And I think in a subtle way it contributed to all of these complaints about games feeling dumbed down and so on and so forth. I think a big part of that was the way that the impact that Halo had on resource management. And there were many other games that simplified other aspects of resource management or other things you had to pay attention to in all sorts of different ways. That was a big one. So in this game, I have 5 health. I don't really want to use one of my precious exhaustible health packs, so I'm wandering around in terrible danger all the time. The game is encouraging me to think about resource management in a way that concept simply doesn't exist if... Hi, Dexan. Yeah, I don't know what happened last week. I guess the internet exploded or something.
Security system offline.
And it's interesting thinking. I mean, if it weren't for Dark Souls and games that have been inspired by Dark Souls, we'd have to look exclusively at old games to talk about this kind of mechanic. But it's kind of intriguing in that regard. All right, so I need to go to Cargo Bay 2 to get the key to find that woman's thing. All right, what are we doing? Lock. Stupid turret. Hate you. You're not my friend. Oh God. Idiot. And yeah, this really yeah, that's the kind of thing I was talking about, Theo. Yeah, Modern Warfare is quite inspired by Halo, right? And what that's producing is a casual cinematic play experience, and I don't mean that dismissively. That's not a dirty word to me, I don't mean games shouldn't be designed that way, but I think for a while after Halo came out, it was effectively the case that all games were designed that way. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you prioritize like realism, then yeah, it's a disaster for other reasons. If you want like a gritty, well, yeah, I guess there's 2 levels of it, right? You can have a gritty, realistic sort of design, and there are games like that where like one bullet is deadly. Oh dear. Oh, God. I think I'll go. Where are you? Oh God, there's another turret there. Why am I failing so badly at fighting this guy? God damn it. This is some proper Dark Souls content right here. Motherfucker dodged me. What? I swear, like, there was a corridor where I just wandered into 2 of these guys and just massacred them. This guy's like the final boss of this game, apparently. You should shoot him. Hey, buddy. Hurry. What am I doing? This is like the Marauder in Doom. Hurry. Run. Yes! We did it. The turret comes on. God damn. Yeah, I mean a lot of games take health. You can there's interesting thought experiments to be had on the subject of like what would a realistic combat system look like. What's that? Security access card. You know, would a realistic combat system wouldn't involve health, right? It would involve like poise or like I'm tired now. You know, I'm like, you know, all damage is lethal, but your hit point bar represents like your ability to avoid being hit. And then when your hit point bar is exhausted, that means you're tired now, and the next hit kills you. And I believe actually the original Dungeons and Dragons, years and years ago. Oh Jesus!
Wait, right away.
The original Dungeons and Dragons actually had that as a conceit. I think in the original Dungeons and Dragons, your hit points did explicitly represent like your capacity to avoid damage rather than literally your health as we think of it now. But that didn't... Oh.
Due to the tenuous situation as of late, I've ordered security defense turrets placed at key locations. Yesterday one went off accidentally and critically injured crewman Wells. However, somebody must have tampered with the Xerxes security subsystems, because now my technicians are unable to take them offline. Until we get to the bottom of this, I've ordered all security turrets recalled to storage. But now I can't get in touch with the team I sent out to do the recall.
Xerxes has done something to the turrets. Damn it, Xerxes. Okay, so that I wasted a Medipack bed, a Medibed trigger last time, which would have been really useful right now. Maybe there's one like hiding. Oh Christ Almighty!
Sir, where are you?
Okay, I just got my AP ammo out now. Maybe there's one hidden in this room somewhere or something. I don't know. Right, I'm gonna save the game. Let's go to the cargo holds. I am not in a good situation. Yeah, and so sorry. In the original D&D, I think hit points were the reason hit points weren't called health is that they were imagined as a sort of.
Do you not trust the feelings of the flesh? Our biology yearns to join with yours.
We welcome you to our mass.
But you puzzle us. Why do you serve our mother?
How can you choose cold metal over the splendor of flesh? But you fear us.
We hear your thoughts, and they rage for your brothers you believe dead.
But they are not.
They sing in our symphony of life. We offer another chance to join us. If you choose to lie down with the machine,
We will rend you apart.
and put you separate from the joy of the mass.
How mysterious. Oh God. Oh, my pistol is breaking. Oh, this is bad. This is a bad situation I'm in.
They aren't making this easy for us, are they? I miss you. I know it's stupid, but I do. I think I'll wallow in self-pity for an hour or so, and then write you again. Figures. I have to travel 67 trillion miles to meet a man. Once you're transferred to the Von Braun, everything will be better. I'll be better. I promise. Great. Someone's coming. Counting the seconds.
Cargo Bay 1, Cargo Bay 2, let's go to Command and Control. That's probably... What I really, really desperately need is just a healing bed. That's what I need. Lots of explosive radioactive crates. Lots more explosive radioactive... Jesus! Every time. Right, hang on. Oh. Oh, that was effective.
Your flesh betrays
I'm supposed to kill him. Oh, I think I can shoot those. Oh no, there's not an explosive. Alright, I'll deal with him in a second. See if I can find some health. Yeah, yeah. Nope.
Stay where you are, Beck. I mean it.
It's
This
not a
isn't
talking
something you
bag.
can fight. This isn't something you can run from. If you love me, you won't come looking for me. Just hang tight. I won't let you down.
we remain.
My mouse is playing up again. Loads of vodka here. I'll make a pile of it in the middle of the room or something. That's the kind of thing you're supposed to do in this game. It's,
You do not lie.
oh, physics. Sort of physics. Maybe it's not a good idea actually. You can always come back here with the recycler later and recycle all this stuff. Yeah, D&D had this conceit that hit points were nebulous, so you weren't supposed to imagine that, you know, taking 24 damage meant you were being literally stabbed in the head and surviving it. But you know, like visual depictions of D&D, like computer games, like but not limited to computer games, then sort of, you know, show damage as being, you know, literally physical hits. So then we've ended up in this situation where taking, you know, and actually like in oh, was that open? No, there was a force field. There was a force field over the window. It wasn't.
No way. They're not gonna get me. They're not gonna change me. Rachel, kids, I'm sorry.
We are
Something.
out of place.
Where did that head come from? Okay, here we go. Oh shit! There's one with a shotgun. Oh god, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna have to take a health back. I'm not gonna make it otherwise. Yeah, and the other thing is, from like a UX game design point of view, right? It's very easy to depict that you've taken damage, in the sense of like blood flying everywhere and, you know, the weapon physically making contact with you. Whereas the concept, I have lost some of my ability to not take damage, is way more complicated conceptually. Oh, I did that one without taking any damage. Of course I did. So actually, you know, from a good UX design point of view, damage as we think of it is actually a really good idea. It just doesn't make any sense from a, you know, from a realism point of view. How am I shrugging off these massive attacks? Den, you said in Skyrim you get full of arrows. Yeah, arrows stick in you, right? The funniest example I can think of that exact point was Dungeon Siege 1. Dungeon Siege 1 was a terrible game. There's an interesting anecdote in that, how that saved my degree, but there's still no medical healing place. God damn it! Oh, do I have lots of modules? Wow, I've got loads of modules. Okay, I should probably learn some. Okay, specifically what I should learn is the maintenance skill, because my pistol is about to break. That's really bad. Possibly also energy? There isn't an energy thing here. Okay. But I should learn the maintenance skill. 1, 2, 3. Do I want 4? Possibly. Yeah, I think so. So the maintenance skill, basically, whenever you use this maintenance tool, yeah, whenever you use a maintenance tool, it heals it by an amount equal to your maintenance skill. So having maintenance 4 is 4 times as efficient as having a maintenance skill of 1, because I just healed it by 4. So those points are always well invested, I think. Now my gun isn't going to break. Sorry, so Dungeon Siege 1, it did the same thing. When an arrow stuck in you, it visually stayed in you. But there were two things about it that made it much worse than Skyrim. The first was that the enemies fired arrows incredibly quickly, and that each arrow did only a tiny amount of damage, or like an amount of damage that you could easily survive. But also, it would position the arrow. They were all vertically centered on the player, so they would always go through the waist, regardless of like where the enemy was or whatever. It would sort of stick through the waist. But then it would randomly give it a direction, which is very, very strange, and it meant that you ended up wearing this sort of belt of arrows in every single combat. You would come out of the combat wearing this sort of weird tutu sort of shape made of arrows. How am I going to kill this guy? Shouldn't have unbound. Yeah, hacks. Screw that guy. Oh, some bullets. The various different kinds of ammunition I'm picking up are all like, these are standard bullets, armor-piercing bullets, anti-personnel bullets. So you can switch different kinds of bullets in for different types of enemy. My anecdote about Dungeon Siege 1. So I have never met. I've met quite a lot of different game reviewers. I've never met Jim Rossignol, and I'd like to, because he effectively saved my degree, because he wrote an absolutely terrible review of Dungeon Siege 1 for PC Gamer, recommending it. And the reason it was a terrible review was because he'd never played Diablo. And I'm supposed to go into Cargo Bay 2, but let's go into Cargo Bay 1 instead. He'd never played Diablo. And so he reviewed. He'd never played that sort of progression-based RPG before. So when he played, is that right? Oh, protocol droids.
This is Xerxes. Can you not feel the glory of the flesh? Do you not yearn to be free of the tyranny of the individual?
Thanks, Xerxes. So he said this game is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic, and the reason that he said that was he'd never played that sort of RPG before, so he was completely blown away by the idea of a progression RPG. Dungeon Siege 1 is a terrible RPG. It's like, I think it's one of the worst RPGs I've ever played. It's really, really bad. The mechanics don't really work. The content isn't very good. The story is appalling. But I bought it, and it was around the time of my finals at university. And being the procrastinator that I am, I spent a lot of time playing computer games when I should have been revising. But because it was so bad... Uh-oh, there's a baddie behind me, isn't there? Oh, God. Because it was so bad, I ended up doing more revision than I otherwise would have done. And if I'd been playing a good game, like I think Civ 3 or 4 was out around the same time, and some of my friends were playing that, then I would have done less revision and done a lot worse in my exams, I think. So ironically, Dungeon Siege and Jim Rossignol's review of it saved my degree. Hi, Vernick. This is System Shock 2. Let me know what you think. Oh, there's money there. That looks intimidating, doesn't it? Oh, god damn it.
Work back there. May I interest you in any providing of service? Excuse me?
Puzzle inventories. Yeah, I like puzzle inventories. I mean, it's similar to what I was talking about earlier about convenience, and like puzzle inventories are way less convenient. Like, I will say in general, I don't like inventory management as a mechanic. Sorry, a puzzle inventory, if you're not familiar with it, is like in older RPGs, like say Diablo 1. Oh god. How quiet am I? Can I move quiet? Can I sneak past them? I don't really sneak very much. A puzzle inventory is where... Oh god. Wasn't there 4? That's the last one. So a puzzle inventory is a grid-based inventory where the shape of the objects are not all 1 by 1. So they might be 2 by 1 or 1 by 2 or 2 by 2 or 2 by 3 or whatever, and laying them out around your in your backpack is an important part of like managing your inventory. So it's not just that they take more... Yeah, Tetris inventory is another good way to put it, yeah. It's not just that they take up more space, it's that they take up a specific amount of space. So I've seen it used effectively, like the original XCOM uses it very effectively, because XCOM isn't about... It's not an inventory in the sense that you... it's not about looting and hoarding items in your inventory like Diablo. It's in XCOM it's about loadout, so your soldiers can only carry X, and that works really well because like it means that, for example, they can have a belt slot and you can carry a grenade on your belt, but you can't carry an autocannon on your belt. And so I think the original UFO makes really good use of that system to make you make interesting choices and flavorful choices as well. It feels good to say, like, you know, if I want to bring a backup rifle, it's got to be on my back, but if I want to bring a backup pistol, I can put it on my belt, and I think that adds quite a lot to that game. I would say, I mean, in general, I don't like looting mechanics. One of my I think this is a broader game design point. Is it worth talking about the broader game design point? Probably is. My broad game design point would be, I don't think people think enough. Even in a professional context, certainly in an indie context, but in a professional context, I don't think people think enough about what it is the player actually spends their time doing. Like, if you think about Skyrim, and you imagine the way that the developers of Skyrim describe Skyrim, what they would say is that it's a game about wandering their amazing environment and talking to people and going on adventures and visiting that mountain you can see in the distance and unraveling the mystery of the blah blah blah. And what you do in practice is you spend a lot of time sorting your inventory and selling things to merchants, and if you're really extreme, sleeping so that the merchant's money will restock and blah blah blah, right? And that's what you actually spend your time doing in Skyrim, because that's what the mechanics encourage or require, depending on how extreme you are about the economy and buying and selling things. So personally, I don't like inventory mechanics at all. Really, I don't like. My preference is just you can pick up any amount of stuff you want. Now, in an MMO context, that's slightly different. Like RuneScape doesn't. Again, thinking about we were talking about last week about closed and open economies. RuneScape has an open economy, which means the amount of wealth that can be created is effectively infinite. So the only limiting factor is how much wealth can you gather at a time, and the inventory in that context is an important limiting factor in essentially how much can you do before you need to take a break. Now I think RuneScape's original inventory mechanics aren't really built with that in mind, and I think that the breaks that they force you to take are too frequent. Like being able to mine, about 20 of something before you go back. It can take you sort of under a minute to fill your inventory depending on what you're doing, and then that isn't creating a break. What that's doing is creating a loop that includes clearing your inventory. So if you want to play for 20 minutes, you do 20 loops of fill my inventory and empty it again. Oh, hi, City. And that I think is a bit too frequent, and so that's why we added the ore box in mining. We added the ore box in mining because that allowed us to control better the length that you could stay doing something. It's still not that precise. Oh, this hacking minigame. What? What is even happening here? I'm at 65%. How am I doing so badly at this? But yeah, in general, I don't like. In RuneScape, I don't know technically where it's at. I would say I think that we're a lot less sensitive about the balancing than we used to be. If you asked me that question 7 years ago, I would say no, we definitely would never change the inventory size, because too much of the game's balance depends on the inventory being the size that it is. I think these days with porters and all sorts of, there's a lot of ways to bypass the size of the inventory from a gameplay perspective that I think means that the size of the inventory in RuneScape is no longer a major balancing consideration. But the primary restriction on that would be technical, I think. And I think it's conceptually easier for us, design-wise and technically-wise, to try to expand on the idea of supplementary inventories, I think. Wait, where am I? I'm lost. Did I... Wait, what? Did I already go up this lift? Have I just turned myself around in a circle? Is this the lift I already went up? No. Wait, what? I'm really lost. Where... Oh, it was that lift I went up. Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, more food is an issue, but we keep doing and are likely to continue to do, improving that as well. Oh, hello. Wait, is that the? How is that useful? I can get there anyway. That must be some stealth thing. But yeah, no. So I'm not keen on inventory management because I think it creates gameplay which is undesirable from the point of view of like a single-player RPG where you're hoarding in equipment and then going back and processing. What's the game I played? I can't remember which one it is. And it's just exhausting. Oh, Jesus. That's a monkey. Oh, we know what I should be doing. I should be eating these damn crisps. That's what I should be doing. Oh, it's Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is just... particularly with the way the weapon upgrade mechanics and everything work in Fallout 4. Like, the weapon upgrade mechanics are great, but the way that they interact with loot is really awful. Because you come back from an excursion and your inventory is just full of all this crap. And it's just, I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to put it all in this crate and forget about it, because what I want to be doing is playing the game, not spending time at home sorting through the things that I own. Diablo isn't anywhere near as bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not nightmarish. Diablo particularly, you can just be like, you know what? Is it yellow? No, vendor it. Or disenchant it, or whatever it is you do in Diablo. And that's in that regard, like. What? Who shot me? Oh, hello. Motherfucker. That's sort of an example of. That's sort of an example of it done well. What's that? Swift boost. Nice. Like Diablo 3, at least in the end game, minimises the amount of inventory management you have to do. It doesn't eliminate it, but given that it's primarily a game about looting, you have to do very little inventory management. Things like saving upgrades for your alts are nightmarish, because it's like, well, I've got all these items, and it's very, very inconvenient to like, oh, I found a really cool sword that my other character would really like, but I don't have room for it in my bank because, you know, they can't use it right now because it's 15 levels too high for them. That's pretty bad. But just the basics of sort of the basic sort of loot and comeback loop is pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty bad in Elder Scrolls games for like picking up absolutely everything that's not nailed down. So I kind of bring that problem on myself anyway, right? But actually, like, I find the alternative, which is that I have to like carefully sort through all items while I'm in the field, deciding what's valuable and what's not, and deciding what's keeping and what's not, is even worse to me. Like, I don't want to be sorting through trying to figure out which of these books is which is valuable and which isn't. I just want to grab everything and go. I designed an FPS. We started developing it when we were students years ago, and the premise of that was that your character could like absorb everything, like they could send out a beam that just disassembled everything into its base components and absorb it. And that's like my fantasy inventory management game, where it doesn't matter what anything is, because you just render it all down to stuff and keep it all. You can do that in this game, but I can't yet. I can't remember where. Oh God. See, I've got, look, here's talking about inventory management, right? I was hoping I could sneak this back with me, but I don't think I can. I love what was Deus Ex not exactly like auto disassembling, more like literally you just when like whenever you're like in this situation, all these corpses, all these crates would all just get automatically zapped and turned into like money or credits or stackable iron ore, depending on how you want to look at it. Oh, I do have room for this. Okay, cool. Nice. I think there is gameplay. There is valid gameplay in inventory management. But I think it's few and far between, right? There is an interesting gameplay situation where it's like I can't carry all of this. I need to decide what to take and what to keep. And I think like, you know, thinking about PVMing in RuneScape, in some, I mean, certainly not all the time, but in some, oh, Jesus. Thinking about RuneScape, like, there are definitely situations where, oh God, how long ago is that? Oh, bloody hell. There are supposed to be. I think to an extent now it's less necessary, but there are supposed to be situations where, you know, you're trading off like room for food against room for buffs, and so in that sorry, you know, like you're trading off like how much stuff do I take with me versus how much stuff can I bring back. If you want a second set of gear to switch into, you're not going to drop that. If it's food, you're going to eat it, but if it's gear, you're not going to eat it. So that limits the amount of stuff you can bring back, and in theory that sort of loadout management aspect can be quite interesting. And I think there's also, you know, there's a fantasy about, like, you know, we've got to the Dragon's Hoard and we can't decide how much of it to take back with us. And in theory, a good inventory management system turns basically every situation into that. Maybe it's just because I'm a narrativist, but I don't really want that all the time. That's not very interesting. I'm happy to have that interesting decision like once, but I don't really want it constantly. I don't want every moment of every game I ever play to be about inventory management. I'm happy to have it as a narrative decision, you know, like the end of the quest is, well, we can't afford to take everything, so what are you going to choose to take? There's a DLC for for Fallout New Vegas, the premise of which is that you're doing like a heist, and you end up finding all these gold bars, and then the room explodes. Like, just as you find the gold bars, the room explodes, or like a 5-second timer goes off, or something like that. What have I got here? Boom. Let's dump all this crap here. Oh, now that's another thing. Because my modify skill is higher, my my items don't charge to 100% anymore. They charge to 140% because I've got a skill of 4. So that's actually really useful as well. Sorry, what was I saying? Can't remember now. Oh yeah, New Vegas, right? You're in a room with all this gold, and the point is the gold is way too heavy. It's vastly higher than your carry capacity, so you can't have it, and that's the narrative purpose. Cargo Bay 2 access. Oh, okay. Cargo Bay 2 was locked. Oh god.
I suppose they shall return if they return. Is a client
I'm not. Is it clear why I'm so scared of these things?
Sir, there's no charge. Come back.
New flesh.
Cool.
We do
No hesitation. I love the footsteps here, and can you hear? There's a very quiet ambient in the background, and that's really a signature of these developers. It's very understated. Thief was absolutely fantastic at it. Thief would just play this ambient noise all the time. Oh god. I'm going to run out of AP bullets if I don't. Oh, Jesus. Why don't I see if I can avoid that one? Oh god. And that's why I'm scared of them. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Sorry, so yeah, New Vegas, the gold, right? So the players just kept trying to come up with ways to exploit it, right? It became an interesting mechanical challenge, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, right? But it's sort of like if you allow something to be mechanically, maybe it's an ideological issue. I don't think it's fair of me to say that it's wrong. It's not at all. But like ideologically, for me, if I want something to be a narrative point, I think it should be expressed narratively and not mechanically, because if it's mechanical, you're inviting people to treat it mechanically and not.
I'm sure this is just what you were looking for.
I love that. I'm sure this is just what you were looking for.
I'm sure this is just what you were looking for.
Okay, there are some bullets over there, but I think killing those two to get to those bullets is probably a bad trade. So why don't I just skip them? Oh god. Oh Jesus, what? Ah, cyber modules. Okay. Okay, I mean, the way I play these games, I generally would prefer to just kill everything and then loot the place. But this is tricky. And also expensive. Oh god. Alright, okay. No problem. I think if I remember correctly, the correct solution to the gold problem in Fallout New Vegas was you put all the gold. You need to make sure there's a corpse. You put all the gold on the corpse. You then carry the corpse out of the room, because corpses don't have weight, because you pick them up using the physics system rather than picking them up into your inventory. And then you put the corpse back down again and take the gold back off the corpse.
Excuse me, where did he go?
And that's very much I refuse to accept the logical premise of your
I'm sorry,
of your morality question, right? God, what is going on in here? Ah. Okay, hang on. Where did that other guy go? What? How? These things. Oh, we can see the. Can we see the brainworm thing now? Yeah. So the worm came out of his chest and started eating his head. Lovely. Excuse me. I ate quite a lot of courgette. I'm actually being very reserved in not exterminating all of these things. You know, it'd be really useful. An energy pistol would be really, really useful.
Where did he go?
Oh God. Ah. Yeah, I think we're done here.
I'm sorry, I didn't see where.
Jesus.
Where did he go?
It's quite an interesting dungeon premise. Oh wait, did that one just get? I think that might have been one just getting crushed under the lift. It's an interesting dungeon premise, a cargo bay full of dangerous robots. Full of exploding robots, you know. Hey RS3KR. Now weren't there hybrids out here last time? And I still haven't found somewhere to heal. I'm okay. Bit full of courgette, otherwise I'm fine. It was a lot of courgette. I don't even like courgette. That's the irony. Don't know why I'm talking about courgette so much. Stream of life. Why were those at different charges? Oh, because I put the speed one on later. So I've got speed and a strength boost now, so I'm moving a bit faster and my inventory's a bit larger. I don't think I can get rid of any of this really. This is all quite important. Right, so I now have the key to cargo, so I didn't realise I didn't need it. I'm fascinated by that kind of thing. I try to play games in a way that lets me observe it. Like, I don't think there's really any. It's not really a design lesson exactly. But I'm really interested in. Should probably turn off security, shouldn't I? I'm really interested in the general. Where is the security one? Is there one up in? Yes, there is. Okay. I guess it's like my nerd wonky. You know the term wonk. Like it's my game design wonk. Like I'm really interested in what parts of the game are mandatory and what aren't. Like if you've given me 2 cargo bays, I'm fascinated to see whether you chose to make both of them mandatory. And in this case they did, because getting into Cargo Bay 2 required the key that was in Cargo Bay 1. Wait, why did I come up here? Oh, for the security station, I remember. Right, do I have any more modules to spend? I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, RS3KR. If you are, I can't do anything to help with account issues. The reason I thought that might be sarcastic is that's exactly what Theo would say sarcastically. I apologise if you're having an account issue. I don't work in the support department, and I don't have access to any of the systems that allow me to like review accounts or do anything with accounts. The most interesting complaint I see, a fascinating complaint I saw on Discord, is like every so often people complain that the lore mods are so active in lore, and it's not fair because combat mods aren't active in combat or whatever, like other areas of the game. And it's such a weird complaint to me, because it's just like, because some mods have chosen to spend their spare time chatting with players about the game, like they now feel like it's unfair because other mods don't choose to do that with some other aspect of the game. You know, it's really, really strange.
I'm
God.
sorry.
Son of a bitch. I was going to eat some of these crisps, I think. That's a good idea. So it's orange juice as well. These give 1 health each, which when you have the amount of health I have. That's, you know, I was saying earlier about like regenerating health and stuff like that. It's really interesting to see games that have, say, regenerating health or whatever, or trivially recoverable health, but also have a whole bunch of systems like if you eat food you get health back or something. Like in this game, eating food gives you health back, and that's really, really important because health is incredibly precious. Oh. That one's broken. Oh yeah, I shut the security down, didn't I? Bonk. Yeah, pro gameplay. Oh, version 1 hacking software.
Well, we can't get the malfunctioning turrets offline, and now Xerxes isn't even talking to us. Pollard thought of a workaround. By running bypass into central control, we can hack into the turrets locally and take control of them. However, that means walking right up to the little sons of bitches and hoping they don't go off. One thing is sure, I'm going to figure out what the hell happened here.
Oh yeah, I was talking last week about the games that this game inspired either directly or indirectly. Like there's a bunch of clones isn't fair, I don't think. Let's lift us offline. But it very heavily inspired a lot of games, either stylistically or mechanically. BioShock, I think, is the most obvious. I was talking about Dead Space last week, but do you think I can get that? Classic gameplay. Oh, there was a lean forward bind, wasn't there? Hang on, I don't think I bound it to anything. What? There's not with that attitude door. Of course I can get it. Lean forward. Here we go. What do I bind lean forward to? What do I have bound? J, maybe. What's a good button for lean forward? How about X? Don't think I'm using X for anything. It's totally unintuitive, right? Oh, there we go. Bind X. Oh no! Oh! I will have it. I will have it. It will be mine. There we go. Oh, got it. So, an interesting... Oh, what? Oh, you fucker. I hadn't realised... So Ken Levine is the lead designer of BioShock, and I hadn't realised... I knew he worked on System Shock 2. I hadn't realised how important he was to System Shock 2. He was... I don't think he was the lead designer, exactly, but I think he did a lot of really important... He was hugely influential on the way it was built, and the decisions for it, and that sort of thing. Oh, there's nanites everywhere in here. But so BioShock, when it came, I was in the camp of people who, when BioShock came out, I was hugely disappointed in it. I think generally BioShock is considered a superb game. I think like the zeitgeist of it is that it's really good, and for me it was hugely disappointing. And it was this game, like, because it was sort of the spiritual successor to System Shock 2. I found it very disappointing because it wasn't really anything like this game. It bears some stylistic similarities. It has turrets in it. It has hacking in it. It's a first-person survival horror, but it wasn't really the same kind of game at all. It was basically a straight shooter with spells that weren't really very good. I don't think, like, gameplay-wise at least, I don't think it especially stood out against... Oh, God. 1 health. Gameplay-wise, I don't think it especially stood out at the time, because FPS RPGs by that point were really common. Most RPGs have sort of looting mechanics or upgrades or something these days. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a complicated Bioshock, right? Like... Oh, hang on. I just saw something. What did I just see? I saw a lootable item. Yeah! Look at that. Oh. Dwarven eyes, that is. I guess, yeah, like, genuinely, I don't think Bioshock is very good. But I sort of kind of realised that a little bit with Bioshock 2, what to do about it. Because with Bioshock 2... So I was playing... There's another review story, actually. I was playing Bioshock 2, and I wasn't enjoying it at all. I think I mean 2, don't I? That's the one with the big sisters in it. And I wasn't enjoying myself at all. I was really not enjoying it.
Security system online.
And I read a review of it. It was Alec Mea's review. Also in PC Gamer, I think. Or it might have been Rock Paper Shotgun at the time. And it essentially said, yeah, this isn't a very good RPG, but it is a very good shooter. The shooting mechanics are really good, the RPG mechanics are bad. So I thought about that, and then... So I modded it to give myself, I think, Infinite Adam. I think Adam's the XP resource. And just bought all of the spells. And then just sort of played it as a fun, lightweight shooter, blasting around, mucking around. And that was fantastic. That was a fantastic experience, and I much more enjoyed it. Sorry, like I said, I can't deal with account issues. I don't have any ability to deal with account issues. There's no one I can refer you to, and I can't handle the situation myself, and I also can't refer you to someone. I'm sorry you're having a problem, but there's not really anything I can do about it. I don't have any ability to go and walk up to someone and say, this guy's having an account issue, could you solve it for him? Christ on me. Alright, I'm going to go... I've just found a medical thing, so I'm going to go back and plug it into the medical bay and heal myself to full. I should buy the energy skill at some point, but I don't have enough modules. Bioshock's mapping. Oh, funnily enough, I wrote a job application based on a bit of Bioshock's map. It's the office at the start. I wrote, like, it was in a job application, I wrote an analysis of that level and how the layout works and the choices that you can make. I would say it was very linear. Like, I mean, yes, it wasn't absolutely 100% linear, but it was linear. Like, it's rare to have a game that's less linear than that, if that makes sense. It's rare to have a game which is literally just a corridor that you walk down. Bioshock was like, well, I could go left, or I could go right, and they eventually meet up in the same place. There was one sort of very... there was one very... sorry, mind's gone blank. Why did I leave? Oh yeah, because I found that thing. There was one like very open level, I think, if I remember correctly, where you know you had a lot of room to explore, and but that again, that's pretty standard. Like you know, most games have a more open level where you can go in 3 different directions and then come back to a central place. That's a fairly standard way to lay out a level, and it's not a flaw. It's not a problem that the game worked like that. But again, it's just a fundamentally different kind of game, right? It's not a game. So this, I mean, I don't think it's not been clear when we're playing so far, but this is a game where you wander back and forth. Not sure if you're still there, Vernick, but I continue to think about your question of like what are the things that impressed me during my life. The game Outcast, which I might stream if I run out of other things to stream, that really blew me away because that did something I'd never seen before, which was like Outcast is set on 4. Outcast is set across like 4 different worlds, and you clear out the worlds. You know, like you go to Zone A and clear out Zone A, you go to Zone B and clear out Zone B, and you can clear them in any order you want. But then I got sent back, like the main plot progressed, and I got sent back to one of the worlds for a different purpose and had to go and engage with a piece of content I hadn't, like, it was like a building I hadn't been able to access. I got sent to as part of the main quest. And that, I mean, that's a really standard piece of level design and game design. But that completely blew me away at the time because I'd never seen anything like that. The idea that, like, you couldn't just clear an area and move on and never go back there, which is how, like, say Half-Life is, you know, Half-Life is fundamentally structured that way. What is happening? I need to be careful because if I quick save when there's a bullet firing at me. I have played Infinite, yeah. Yeah, Infinite was even more linear, yeah, absolutely. I think for the most part, yeah, even more so. I mean, there were still occasions when you could explore a little bit. Maintenance will arrive shortly. But that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, BioShock didn't have. BioShock was not unusually non-linear. It was a pretty normal game in terms of how linear it was. And I don't mean that that's a flaw, but I don't think it particularly deserves credit for that. I think I'm misinterpreting that. I think the 65% must have been failure chance, not success chance. That's a... I would consider that a very minor UX problem. Yeah, Infinite, what did I think of Infinite? Oh, I mean, part of my problem is with the story. I think both BioShock and BioShock Infinite have far worse stories than they're generally given credit for. I know I basically said that about everything, so it's kind of meaningless, but like... Aha! Pull the sneaky. Stealth meme. Is that pistol better condition? No. Oh, cool. There's another robot in there as well. Is there? Oh, do I need to turn security off? Can I just take this turret, do you think? This is really heavily fortified. Oh, shit, I am now out of arm-piercing bullets. That isn't good at all. Ah, okay, so I just... Oh, look at that, it's switching between my guns. Oh, neat. Okay, that answers that question then. It's switching between my 2 pistols, both of which are now in terrible condition. Oh, God. Well, this is survival horror for you. I really, really enjoyed the intro to BioShock Infinite. I really enjoyed the intro to BioShock as well, actually. I mean, it was a good... like, it was exciting and interesting, Often I get defeated by my own expectations, right? And I recognise that's a problem, and that's not really fair to the game. I don't think BioShock really did anything with its underwaterness premise.
In some ways, the many is not unlike the UNN. There's a joy in working towards a collective goal, and being able to put aside the things that draw us apart and make us separate. Why do we fear the loss of our individuality so much? Man can dream, but the many can accomplish.
There's another one.
Constance, I fear now for my life. I think this has gone beyond any imaginings of Diego and Korechkin. I do not believe they are in control at all. We must discover what it was they found down on the surface of Tau 75 and why they guard the secret so jealously. I think this is more important than my life, or your life, or the life of the ship. Be brave and be careful.
What the hell? There's another one. Damn it. Oh, let's repair my pistol again. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Ah, look at this. Look at this exploit. The gun is on the other arm, so it can't do anything about me. Are they respawning? Is that what's happening? Oh shit. Better get out of here. Sorry, I'll just pay attention to a second for what I'm doing. Okay, I'm really low on armor-piercing bullets now because I shot all those protocol droids with them, which is foolish. Yeah, it sounds like there's another robot above. Oh, and another pistol. Another terrible pistol. Great. I think it's fairly easy to criticise BioShock Infinite's story. Like, I think the one that got the most attention was the fact that that someone said they hadn't played Infinite. So I'm happy to not talk about BioShock Infinite spoilers if you'd rather I not, since that isn't really the topic. Hydrophobia. Sorry, I did start hydrophobia. Oh, a broken laser pistol. That would have been quite useful. Aha. My French Epstein device.
Malone's dead. I was just talking to him and this cyborg came up behind him and... Okay, Connie, get a grip. Get a grip. I've recoded the door lock and engineering control to 15061. I think I'll be safe in here. Yeah, I'll be safe in here.
15061. Okay, just gotta get out of here. With no armor-piercing bullets left. Let's go! Pretty sure I looted everything on the way. Oh, can't go the other way! Son of a bitch. The BioShock Infinite has something really interesting to say about race. People phrase it that way, has something interesting to say, right? I guess that's not actually true. It depicts racial conflict in a really interesting way, I think. What it has to say is that racism is bad, which isn't actually a very interesting thing to say at all. But the way that it says it is really interesting. And the way that it depicts racism is really interesting. But then it goes really weird towards the end. And has like a weird, like, both sides thing, where it's like, but the black people are also kind of bad, aren't they? And that's such a weird point to be making in the game. Like, why did you choose to make that content? That is, like, you're trying to like equivocate between, like the slave owners and the slaves, and say that, you know, morality is much more complicated than that, which is not like just not a good moral lesson. What I don't really understand what they were thinking. I'm going to take that with me. It also has a weird problem with alternate universes. I think I was talking about it with respect to... what was it? What was it that did it wrong? No, it's something recently that did it right. I was really impressed. Oh, it's Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty handles the alternate universe problem really, really well, and I'm impressed by how like smartly written it is in that regard. So in Bioshock, at one point in Bioshock Infinite, you learn to travel to an alternate universe, and then you can't get back to your own universe, and you just wander from alternate universe to alternate universe, and you eventually just like pick one and stay there, and then the game stops worrying about that concept and resumes the conflict that was happening before, which I found absolutely baffling, because I'm like, this isn't my conflict. I don't care that these people are fighting each other. This isn't my world. Why should I care that there's a conflict going on here? I need to get back to my world and stop the conflict in my world. And obviously, like, you don't have to agree with that philosophy. You might ideologically not agree, and you might think, well, any conflict matters, and it doesn't matter what universe it's in, and that's perfectly fine opinion. But the game should at least address that concept. It should acknowledge that that's a problem with the weird setup, and at least have the character say, like, well, these aren't my people, but I'm still going to fight for them or something. But it's almost like they just got bored of telling alternate universe stories and stopped. It was really strange. And that just, I mean, there were really good things about Infinite, but overall I just couldn't take it seriously because of that. I mean, I know it sounds kind of petty, but like, the combination of that and the weird racism problem meant that I just totally disengaged with the story. Also, I mean, mechanically I had a real problem with Infinite because I was playing it on hard. Because Bioshock 1 was tediously easy. It didn't really pose any challenge because you could just infinitely respawn. So I played it on hard to try to give myself a bit of a challenge. But Bioshock Infinite works completely differently. When you die, you respawn and permanently lose money, which you then can't spend on upgrades. Was it 15061? Yes, it was. Ah, right. Now maybe we can purge the fluidics or whatever it is. Ah, bullets.
Somebody's been tampering with the Xerxes unit. In the interest of keeping secrets from the powers that be, I've installed a backdoor to the fluidics control computer. To activate it, install hardware override 45M DEX in the system's monitoring unit in command control. You can find 45M DEX in auxiliary storage 5 in the coolant tubes. Keycode 34760.
Xerxes is one step ahead of us. He's performed an override on the fluidics control computer and blocked us out. But keep an eye open. You might be able to find some workaround.
Okay, so I went to 347. Yeah, no, totally agree. Yeah, the 2-weapon limit was bizarre. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about this. I actually wrote a parody song about Bioshock Infinite. It was to the tune of I Can't Live If Living Is Without You. And yeah, that was one of my complaints, is that like it's really weird that you can only carry 2 guns. My main complaint is that you couldn't save. Like, you can't quick save. You could only auto save, and the game was punishingly difficult on hard and constantly draining money that I couldn't spend on upgrades. Yeah, that's another thing to think about for the legacy of Halo. Like Halo had that you could only carry 2 guns, which was unprecedented. I mean, Halo, like, I didn't like Halo, but it did an immense amount of like novel mechanics that caught on. It was hugely influential, and one of those was that you could only carry 2 weapons. This is a typical problem in game design, right? I don't think the people who were implementing that thought about why it was in Halo and what it was achieving. Because in Halo, you were always fighting on a battlefield, and the battlefield was always littered with corpses, and the corpses were always heavily armed. So if you wanted to only use needle pistols or whatever, oh, that's not auxiliary override 5. Where's auxiliary override 5? Oh, down this way. If you wanted to only ever use needle pistols, you could, because there were always needle pistols everywhere you looked. You were never short of a gun. And then we had like 15 years of games that meant you could only carry 2 guns or 4 guns or whatever, but that had a completely normal weapon layout. So like there were only like 3 rocket launchers in the entire game, so if you ever put it down... Anyone remember what the code was? I've forgotten. Nope, not that one.
Xerxes is one step ahead of us. He's performed an...
Fluidics backdoor. 34767.
Somebody's been tampering with the Xerxes unit. In the interest of keeping secrets from the powers that be, I've installed a backdoor to the
this is
Fluidics
the
control computer.
this is the thing.
To activate it, install hardware
45MDEX. Which one's that? 45MDEX. There it is.
Good work. I'm uploading some cybernetic modules. Find and upgrade unit as soon as you can and improve your rig.
Excuse me.
4760.
Beaker. Oh, I happen to know what that beaker is for, so I'm going to take it with me. Yeah, Bioshock Infinite was an example of one of those games where like you couldn't. The first one, funnily enough, was Far Cry 1. Far Cry 1 was another game I really didn't like. There's a lot of games I don't like. I think I might be a disgruntled person. But yeah, Far Cry 1 had that problem. You could only carry 4 weapons, but you needed good access to 7. So you were constantly like swapping them backwards and forwards. Whereas in Halo, it was much more about play style. It wasn't like, I need this gun to solve this tactical situation. Occasionally you did, but if you wanted to play the whole game with a pistol or a needler or the battle rifle or the alien assault rifle or whatever, you could. And it was fine and it worked well, and it was much more about, it was almost like class choice. Whereas most games are like, you're fighting a tank, you need a rocket launcher. Well, I didn't bring a rocket launcher. Well, okay, I guess we'll just have to put a rocket launcher on the floor then. Maybe we didn't, though. So now you have to drop one of your guns that you actually need, pick up the rocket launcher, kill the tank with it, and then put the rocket launcher back down again and pick up the gun again. It's just weird flow. I don't understand. I don't understand that design at all. Right, 45MDEX. Where are we going? This way, I think. What's my favourite game? I don't think I have a favourite. What do I like? I have some that I love. It's hard to rate in terms of like, there are games from my childhood that are really, really important to me because they hugely influenced like my thinking as a player and as a designer. Stuff like the original Tomb Raider or Resident Evil, Syndicate, the original UFO. That's not the right place. Where am I going? Deus Ex was hugely influential on me. Planescape Torment. Recently, I really enjoyed XCOM 2. Actually, thinking of a relatively recent game that Control was pretty good. I didn't like. I wouldn't. Control would be nowhere near on my list of favourites, but I did quite enjoy it. I really enjoyed XCOM 2. I thought that was really good. How do I put? No, put the part in it. Okay. Oh wait, what? Oh, where am I supposed to put it? I'm supposed to take it somewhere. Let's try that again. Oh, in command and control. Right, okay. Damn it.
Keeping secrets from the powers that be, I've installed a backdoor to the Fluidics control computer. To activate it, install hardware.
Let's go back again.
45MDEX in the system.
In terms of games that I like, one way of thinking about favourite is like, you just return to it again and again and play it because you find it comforting, right? Like a game that you instinctively go back to. That would be probably... I really like Sid Meier's Pirates. I play that just every 6 months or so. I fire up Sid Meier's Pirates and play it for a bit. Or weirdly, Colonization, which is not a great game, but I really like. I play Colonization 4 now because 1 is basically unplayable, but I really enjoy Civilization Colonization. And this, I mean, System Shock 2 is really, like... I really wanted to stream some more so I could play some more of it because I really like it, even though I've completed it like 5 times. It's just so Don't know. Really enjoy the atmosphere and everything. Why am I here? I'm supposed to be installing something in something, aren't I? Ah, yeah. Hardware override. There we go.
Well done. I'm uploading some cybernetic modules. Find an upgrade unit as soon as you can.
Right. Oh, blimey. Maintenance. That's expensive. Right, I should definitely buy repair. I should definitely buy modify. I should probably get another point of hack. Oh, I'm running quite low now. I think I'll leave it like that for now. So with a I don't think I can repair that yet, can I? No, needs repair 3. So with modify 1, I can modify my pistol. Let's save before I do this. With a modify skill of 1, I can modify my pistol to make it better. Yes, I was thinking exactly the same thing. Why doesn't she just upload me all of them? Well, she did say they're hard to locate. So I guess she's finding them and sending them to me, but that just opens a whole nother load of questions like can they not be copied? Like how is it that they can't be? They've got some sort of DRM attached to them so that they can't be copied. Oh, that's increased the clip size. Nice. Okay, so I now have a do I have a level? Yeah, modification level 1. And then, so I would have to get a much higher modify skill to modify it again. But I could instead, this French Epstein device is like automatically modifies the item, so I'm just going to drag that onto it. And now it has modification level 2. What does that do? I think that gives it 3 round burst. Is that right? I don't actually know what that did to it. But let's assume it was good. Yeah, it takes 24 bullets now. Nice. Okay, so now I should be able to turn fluidics control back on. Oh hey, your mum, A. Lamau. I like your name. What's the explanation for why cyber modules can't be copied? Where's he going?
You're so...
I think these shotgun ones can't shoot me when I'm really close. Oh no! I know why. I know why in game. Yeah, sorry, I know the spoiler you're referring to, but I think that doesn't explain. What was it? Oh, there was another game like that. What was it? I think it might have been something in Prince of Persia or something. There's an interesting plot problem. I don't know, you could consider it good writing or bad writing. I think you could make an argument for both, right? But there's an interesting plot problem of... Actually, I can't really explain any more of that without spoiling it myself, so no, I'll stop. I'll talk about that after the spoiler happens. Right. Oh, no, I haven't turned on fluidics control. God damn it. Wandering backwards and forwards. Oh. Oh, God. I think I probably last saved quite a long time ago. I'm just going to go back and heal again. Oh, hey, hello.
I'm not sure what's creeping me out worse. The hybrids with their pipes and shotguns, the berserk turrets, or our supposed allies. I don't trust those UNM bastards. I've got to find Sanger. She knows the access code to fluidics control. I'm going to make my way over to Cargo Bay 2 to find her.
Thanks, bro. Right. There we go.
Now get those engine pods online. You'll have to head into cell 1 and 2 and reset the pods manually. After that, reinitialize the system from core control. But that system won't come online until you reset both pods. Keep an eye out. They're mobilizing their real forces, and they know exactly where you are.
That's a thought-provoking statement, but it's not actually true, really. Like, it suggests that they would like send forces directly at you, but very much a mechanical premise of this game is that those dudes are just wandering around, and I sneak up on them all the time, so they clearly don't know exactly where I am. It's really strange. Oh, I've not been this entire time. I've not been wearing power armor. I've not been wearing any armor. I've been wearing the damn radiation suit. And I think I've now purged the fluidics, so I don't need to wear the radiation suit again. Oh, idiot. Okay. Oh, I love this music. A spoiler, something we were talking about a plot point, and discussing that plot point in full is a spoiler, so we're not talking about that plot point. Oh. Right, let's go. Let's go to engineering. It's exciting. It's very busy work. And it's interesting thinking about that, because to me this game doesn't feel like a busy work game. But it really, really is, and I don't know why it doesn't feel like it. It might just be bias on my part. But like, I often wonder about the problem of like filler. I was talking to someone recently, it was probably a Vernick, about like filler episodes when, you know, like I think oh, it was the Clone Wars. I think it was the Clone Wars series has a lot of filler episodes, but the non-filler episodes are pretty good.
They hit us 6 hours ago. Malone, the OSA spook, tried to take one of those things out with a pyrokinesis attack, but didn't even break stride. Then it unloaded both barrels into his stomach. Valzone said there's a weapons cache in one of the engine nacelles. Maybe I can find him and the others there.
Oh, the laser rapier. Requires energy 4. It's not a lightsaber, it's a laser rapier. Yeah, filler episodes are an interesting concept, because where does that go? That's to the nacelle, I think. Let's look at the map. Where am I? Yeah, I'm here, right. So yeah, so starboard nacelle, port nacelle. So where does that go? I think that goes up to command or something. Let's go and look. And I think we're all just kind of used to it in TV now, right? Like filler is like there's a, I mean, like, you know, the archetypal example is like the X-Files, which had like usually the season ender was a big plot episode, and then every other episode in the whole series was just like just a Monster of the Week episode to pad time before the next big plot episode, you know. And that's a cynical way of looking at it, right? Because the point of the series was the Monster of the Week episodes, and the meta plot episodes were just the meta plot episodes were just like, you know, a fun thing to string people along, and there wasn't actually any meta plot. They were just occasionally doing an episode that sounded like there was a meta plot, which is basically the standard of TV at the time, like, you know, Lost and anything with J.J. Abrams. Hello, Festuka. Festuska.
I don't know where we'd be without Delacroix. This whole ship is falling apart. She's the only one who knows what from what. I saw her arguing with that creep Anatoly Goreskin, or whatever his name is, and she was giving it to him, but good. But that freak job stares her straight in the eye and starts babbling about how she doesn't know the pleasure of the joyful unity or some such. Mamma mia, the clowns are running the circus.
Oh, there's something to stand on there. Is there a point going down there? But yeah, so it was Babylon 5 that sort of demonstrated to me that it's possible to have. So Babylon 5 has a little bit of filler in its first series, but other than that, like, every episode is a meta plot episode for like 5 series, which is pretty impressive. Sorry, well, for 4. 5 is a little weak in places. And that was a really impressive record. I'm in engineering. Delacroix. You mean because it should be Delacroix? Oh. What was that camera? Oh. Yeah, right, like, yeah, it's just Americans.
I've been contacted by some kind of artificial intelligence that wants to help me reclaim control of the one plant. Whatever is now in charge. I don't know where it came from, but I must confess, I'm happy it is here.
What? That sounds like a plot point. How did I forget about that camera already? Idiot. Sneak behind him. Oh, nuts! Wait, there was a thing in here, wasn't there? Yeah.
Potential threat. Technology alert terminated.
It may have already summoned something though. Yep. What else did I enjoy recently? I really enjoyed Arkham Knight. That's going back a while now, I suppose, but I don't get to play games that much anymore. Oh. Hey, buddy. Shoddy shotgun. Shoddy shotgun's pretty good. This is an unresearched side booster. Gonna have to just do some inventory dumping again. You can see the terrible way that I maintain my inventory here by like I'm instinctively hoarding everything, even though it's junk. Which is part of the problem why I have problems with inventory management, right? But like, that's the thing, right? Like, I think it is a reasonable point to say, well, maybe just don't hoard things. Like, players who don't hoard things don't have a problem with, or don't have such a problem with inventory management. But then if why is all this junk in the game? Like, if the only players who care about it are being affected by it negatively, maybe don't. I don't know. It's a rant of mine, but not very important. Let's build a loot pile here. Terrible. I don't know why I'm carrying the shotgun actually, I haven't used it yet, have I? Try not to mug and everything. That's lazy loop here. Okay, so we've turned on half the power. Is there anything else we need to do here? Oh, Jesus. The worst thing I think I've done is in Deus Ex Human Revolution. Was it Human Revolution? What was the first one? Yeah, Human Revolution. Sorry, not the first one, the first of the remakes. Oh, he shot me really close. Maybe I should have been more up in his face. Excuse me. In that game, so in Deus Ex and the remakes of Deus Ex, you can't... it has what I would consider to be a much clunkier implementation of this game's inventory system. So as an example, like when you pick up... is that not done? Have I not completed my objectives? Where's my cyber modules? I need my fix. When you pick up a weapon, if you already have that weapon, if you don't have that weapon, it goes in your Tetris inventory, and you have to figure out how to pick it up. If you do already have the weapon, then it just adds ammunition of that weapon to your inventory. Now that's how a conventional FPS works, because you know, you pick up you don't need a second shotgun. When you pick up your second shotgun in Doom or Serious Sam or whatever, you just get more ammunition, and that's fine. That makes perfect sense. But in Deus Ex has a sort of pseudo inventory management system, and actually there were places in the game, I'm pretty sure in the original and in I've gone completely the wrong way. and in Human Revolution, where you could sell weapons. There were options to sell items, but you couldn't properly manage them. So if you wanted to sell, say, 8 shotguns, you had to manually pick up each shotgun and take it to the shop and sell it, and then come pick up the second one. Because if you picked it up when you were already carrying one, you couldn't. It would just disappear, right? so at the start of Human Revolution, I did that. There's a place where you like get attacked by mobsters right near a shop. So I just manually went and sold like 12 shotguns or something, and effectively had unlimited money for the entire game. Right, what am I supposed to be doing? Find. What did she tell me to do? Get those engine pods back
Now
online.
get those engine pods online. You'll
Reinitialize
have to
core
cell
control.
1 and 2 and reset the pods manually.
Oh, hang on. Is this core control?
Reinitialize the system from core control.
Yeah,
That
I think.
system won't come online until you reset both pods. Keep an eye out. They're mobilizing their real forces, and they know exactly where you are.
Right, so where's core control? Ah, here. There.
Good work. The engine core is now back online. Now get to the elevator and come see me on deck 4. While you're doing that, I've discovered the presence of some Annelid artifacts on board the ship. I think you may be able to use them to your advantage. I've uploaded the information to the ship's weapons upgrade units. They'll be able to convey the information to your cybernetic rig. What are you waiting for? Get to the elevator now.
yeah. So, yeah, the Divinity, yeah. What's? Yeah. And that's why I fantasize about, like, well, what if you could just absorb anything? You know, what if you could just absorb anything and just get the resources for it? There are games, you know, Mass Effect let you, like, you could render something down into gel, I think, from your inventory. I appreciated that. Like, although I mean, Mass Effect 1 was actually a nightmare for inventory management stuff. So this is like a secret bit that you can only get to with the power back on. And I don't think there's any need to come down here. Oh, what's that? Cyboost implant. Okay. Fuck. It's not good. Can I actually use the shotgun? Yeah, I should probably just use the shotgun, shouldn't I? I'm just playing a basic, like, technically I'm in the Navy, but I'm just going to go standard weapons and tech, I think. I probably won't bother with either research or exotic unless I just end up with loads of points left over. That is a turret. That doesn't seem to be very effective, does it? Oh god, I do not have enough AP left. Doesn't help that I missed with 2 of them. Might be time to hit up a replicator actually and get some more. I think the sense that some games are trying to get to, and again, it's kind of like it's interesting, like vestigial mechanics, like in the case of, you know, this game has infinite regenerating health, but it still has food that you can eat for health. I think there is some of that is vestigial, like in like a roguelike or a more hardcore dungeon exploration game, you might have a mechanic where you actually have to just go out of the dungeon in order to rest and recuperate, right? And that's a believable part of the dungeon, the fantasy dungeon fantasy. Like, we went on an expedition and then we returned from our expedition exhausted and battered, but full of treasure. You know, that's a cool sounding. Oh, cool. Oh no, that was vodka. Wait, does vodka give you health? And oh god. Oh, she hasn't. Oh yeah, she has. Ship, run away. Shotgun. Lovely. That's a cyborg midwife. Because obviously. Not sure. There wasn't anything precious down there, was there? I don't think I found anything of value. Is there any point coming down here? Got to meet a cyborg midwife, I suppose. So sorry, the best game I can think of as an example of that is actually Advanced Hero Quest. So Hero Quest was a, if you're not familiar with it, was a kids Games Workshop board game. Where was the healing place? It was back this way, wasn't it? Where am I going? Oh, I've got the elevator working. Finally got the elevators working after all this time. So it was set in a sort of pseudo version of the Warhammer world, and was like a very, very simple D&D board game type thing for kids. And then Games Workshop released a follow-up called Advanced Hero Quest, which was not designed for kids. It was like compatible with that game, but supposed to introduce you more to the Warhammer world. And it was very, very focused on Skaven. It's like the deepest dive they'd ever done on Skaven at the time. And that game, the way it expected you to play was like you would go and explore a randomly generated dungeon, which is kind of an intriguing. Like it was procedurally generated, which was quite rare at the time. You would roll it on tables, like what's in the room, and then you had to map it. You had to accurately map it, and eventually you would just run out of supplies. You would run out of healing potions or health or whatever, and have to go. Right, is there anything else I need to do here? No, I don't think so. So I need to go to deck 4. Deck 4. Shaft inaccessible. Let's go to deck 3 then. So we started on deck 2, and that was deck 1. We went down from deck 2 to deck 1 to turn the power on, and now we're going back up to deck 3. I could go to deck 2, but I don't think there's any reason to. I don't think I've unlocked anything.
Damn! Something's blocking the shaft, and the elevator can't reach deck 4. I'm attempting to determine. I'm detecting massive quantities of some kind of biomaterial that's plugging up the elevator shaft. The environment on this level has been altered to be some kind of breeding chamber for the xenomorphs. It shouldn't prove dangerous unless you plan to stay for more than a few hours. But in order to clear the shaft, you're going to have to remove the biomaterial. I'm accessing the primary data loop. Let's see what we can find out there.
Dick, I know you won't get this until after we've returned, but I've had to express how incredible I feel. We've finally done it, made contact, and Muldoon and I have been selected to be involved in the initial work. Anatoli's one condition is that I tell no one aboard the ship. The creatures are remarkable. They're so helpless, I feel somehow compelled to protect them. It's a miraculous discovery.
They're so helpless.
Potential threat detected. Potential threat detected. Security alert terminated.
Right, what are we doing? Okay, there's a turret to kill there. Ideally we turn off security before we fight it. There's just another security station down here. So we've got to try and figure out how to clear the biomass. What was I talking about? I can't remember. Oh god.
Your powers.
I'm changing. My head is full of wonderful ideas and experiments. They have so many miracles to share, so much knowledge to give. They told me how to make this implant. They said it would make a better me of me. I wish I had more time so I could give it to them.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, Advanced Hero Quest.
Okay, stop where you are. There's a vial of an experimental material called Toxin A. It was developed by the Psy-Step to reduce the growth of the aliens, but I can't find any data on how you should use it. You should be able to research the toxin. I'm uploading you enough sub-modules to acquire the research skill if you don't have it.
This thing. I wasn't expecting it to punch the window out. That actually scared me. Okay, Okay, I need to research that. I think there's an implant I can get to do that. Sorry, right. So yeah, Advanced Hero Quest, you map out the dungeon, and then eventually you run out of resources. So then you have to go back again, and
Okay, the vials of Toxin A need to be placed directly into the environmental regulators. There should be 4 on this deck. If you can get a vial into each of the regulators, you should be able to significantly impact the growth of those despicable creatures. That should remove the biomatter from the elevator shaft.
Despicable creatures? Alright, calm down. Very emotional about it. What's this? Sector A. Do not have a keycard. Right, I'm going to go back and deal with that turret, I think. Sorry, so you went back out of the dungeon, and then, because you had your map, you could then recreate the dungeon accurately and try again. Why is... I'm so bad at hacking security. Okay.
Security system offline.
Sorry, what's that about minions? Let's go fuck some shit up. Oh god! Ah! Ah! Oh, it's full of eggs!
Life grows within the womb of these walls. Life that has never seen the surface of the earth.
Eggs. Yeah, so this game is aliens now. Oh, it's damaging me. Oh shit, toxin. And so I think that's the only game I can think of that I've played that really got that sort of concept of dungeon explorations. Because like if I'm playing Skyrim, I don't want to. I don't want to constantly be running back and forth.
The young ones are all aboard. Captain Diego and I have sealed off Deck 3.
He and I are now of one mind.
Our bodies are changing too. Sometimes it hurts terribly, and sometimes it is
Marvelous. Something wonderful is happening to me.
There's another side view still on. There's another one of those upgrade stations. Yeah, sorry, so something like Skyrim or Fallout 3, there's so much content that I really don't need like one individual dungeon to have more content, like where I'm sort of taking it seriously, doing runs at it and retreating again or something. You know, like that doesn't seem like what the game's strength is its breadth of dungeons. If there was one dungeon, yeah, like Baldur's Gate 2 had this ridiculous dungeon that you would go and do a bit of, and then go and level up, and then come back to and do a bit more of. I think Pillars of Eternity had a similar one, and that captures that concept. Push as far as you can, and then come back again. I don't think we have anything like that in this game. I mean, you could argue that archaeology is like that, but it's not really, because you just sort of grind at it, right? You don't go away and do something else and then come back again. Although I guess the structure of an individual dig site sort of resembles that. Like, I can't go any further with this, so I'm going to go away and do something else. But it's a little different to what I'm talking about. Right, I think probably I want Replicator Expert. I don't think I need anything else right now.
Security system online.
So this would save me money when I spend money at the replicator, which I think I might as well get now, and then I can start buying AP ammo, I think. I could also upgrade my hack so that I can hack them. That's probably a good idea. Oh, quite a lot of modules. So it wants me to buy the research skill, but I think there's an implant I can get that increases my research skill instead, so I could just do that instead. Right. Okay, I didn't go down this way. Let's just go that way first. Oh, how's my pistol doing? Oh, okay. I know I can no longer swap my pistol for a different pistol because I've upgraded this one. Oh, and there's a quality 8 one. Never mind. Let's put it here just in case. Hey, buddy. I have a lot of shotgun shells. I'm assuming I'm going to use them at some point. I can't remember if you can store an infinite number of objects. I mean, the fact that I've got up to 111 suggests there's no limit, right? I can't remember it. I don't think there is ever a limit on the number that you can store in one stack. This looks nice. Nice place. Cool.
This is Xerxes. Please report any electrical anomalies to your Director Superior. Remember, a smooth operation is everybody's responsibility.
Do I have any other...
A laboratory worker from MedSci called me down to the vivisection room yesterday. He felt the lab chips were exhibiting uncommon intelligence. I sat with one for 4 hours and tried to probe it with the SciAmp on a Beta-4 cycle. It failed to respond. I, of course, assumed it was because it was incapable of reacting to the sophisticated Beta-4 cycle. But then I realized it was blocking the probe intentionally. As soon as I raised the SciAmp to attack it, the creature lashed out with its arms and projected a cryokinetic field towards me, paralyzing my arm. I immediately side-dampened the monkey and then stunned it with an electric prod.
I just realised I was going to say something about the UX, and then I forgot to take into account. So pressing U doesn't play the most recent audio log, which is what it does in a lot of games. It plays the most recent unlistened to audio log. So if you pick up multiple, I think you can just get them one by one.
You can't understand my joy, Marie, and I won't try to make you. I feel like a new man. I have a purpose. More important than a mission. Even more important than triumphant. I will protect them. No matter what. I will protect them.
The specimens are dying, and we're powerless to help. They're highly toxic. Muldoon wouldn't leave them, and now he's dead. But this morning I had a revelation. I started work specifications for a radical series of cybernetic enhancements. If successful, I could make a body practically indestructible, yet the mind would remain human, nurturing. There's not a lot of time.
Ow. Terrible. I don't think I can dodge those blasts by, like... I think in theory you could, but I think I'm not able enough. I guess I'll just tank it. Maybe a bit more. They're so creepy. I mean, this is the upgraded. This is the mod, the texture mod, like model and texture mod. But I think it's consistent with the look of them in the original. Oh, good. Oh. Actually, you know what? I'm triggered to see if any of the others want to give me a toxin. Nope. Bloody eggs. So the eggs hatch into either like an egg, sorry, a worm, or they explode and poison you. I think you could just destroy them with a shotgun, right? But they might have loot in them. And who wants to give up loot? No one does. Oh, okay, this is one of the environmental regulators she told me to plug the toxin into, but I haven't researched the toxin yet. Is anyone still in chat? No one said anything for a while, and I'm worried it's crashed again. Last week no one said anything for a while, and then like a few minutes later, someone said, Theo, are you being helpful? Hi, Chaplain. Okay, that's good I haven't crashed. Usually there's lots of people talking, so I'm just slightly worried. Slightly worried. It's interesting looking at Twitch's metrics and what it considers important. I'll play this.
I've received an e-message from Anatoly. He's not well. The corporate protocols specify I can remove the senior executive officer if he's found unfit for duty. But what about his ally, Captain Diego?
Please make
He's
your
got
selection.
120 goons on the Rickenbacker to back him up. I wonder if that fragmentary AI you discovered on Tau Ceti 5 is connected to this.
Oh yeah, sorry Theo.
Is
Let's talk about that in a
Why
second.
do you let the Metal Mother guide your actions? Why do you not join the glory of the Mass?
Why don't I join the glory of the Mass? Good question. Should be faction selection in this game. I wonder if I can modify this shotgun and then immediately find a much better quality one. Yeah, I can. Hooray! Decrease reload time. That's not super useful, but it's better than nothing. Sorry, Theo. So, you were asking about. Oh yeah, because I said I said my challenge to you, didn't I? And then we never actually finished that conversation, did we? It was just. I think it was just. Is it producing a story that's entertaining? I think, like realism is a heuristic. So Theo is a role player who makes decisions based on what he thinks his character would do. Where am I? Let's just dump all this crap. Does that heal me? Yes, it does. Okay. So because I'm not using my psi points anyway, I might as well dump everything. Sorry, I might as well drink the vodka to get health out of it. In the Rome 2 stream, we were discussing the concept of like you can role play in a variety of different ways, in a realistic way or in a narrative focused way.
Killing the children won't be easy, but I think I'm actually onto something. The biochemistry of these worms, which I call the annelids, treats inverted proteins as toxins. With the help of the replicator in the biological survey lab, I've managed to isolate some inverted proteins in a number of vials. However, the mix with the base compound is still off, so I need to do some more research. Once I do that, and mix the toxin into the 4 environmental regulators, well, things can only get better.
Right, so I've got a lab assistant implant now. So it gives me a research skill. So with my research skill, I should be able to now research this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I have to just sit here and wait. Hi, Sujak. This is System Shock 2. BioShock was a later game by some of the same people. Right, I need some antimony. Oh, yeah, medical thing. Nice.
It's becoming clear that the worms are some kind of communal entity. Well, I'm not sure whether airborne toxin A will directly kill any ambulatory specimens. It should impact their communal mass and remove the residue I've observed growing on the walls and the lift shaft. But perhaps there is a more potent formula to be synthesized.
I think we get, well, can we get antimony from the, we haven't found a chemical storeroom on this floor yet, have we? So I'm going to have to go back, well, the only place I know I can definitely find one is, but that's quite useful, but I don't think I need it right now. I need to dump some of this junk. Dump my game pig. These things. Oh god. Oh, you can't swap things. Really? I suppose not, because it dragging onto them interrupts. I know, right? Got to keep the 24-hour Swine Hunter stream. God. Hi, hi Zoink. I'm playing System Shock 2. I've got to go do some research. So in order to research this, I need some antimony. But let's hope there's some in the chemical storeroom, because if there isn't, we're going to have to go on a bit of an adventure. Yeah, there's some. Okay, so I use that, and now it's going to keep researching, and then eventually it's going to stop and need something else. So if there's any... Yeah, there's some more antimony. Is there any vanadium in here? No, doesn't look like it. That's yttrium, I think. Oh, now it needs the vanadium. God damn it. Okay, so we're going to have to go... Right, so what we have to do is... And this is hardcore old school gameplay, right? We're going to have to go look through and find the chemical manifest. And see if there is any. That's why I picked up the chemical manifests while I was there. There we go, engineering. Is there vanadium in engineering? Yes, there is. So let's go to engineering's chemical storeroom and find some vanadium. I did put the Game Boy on my on my pile of important things, not my pile of junk things. Hey Patrick. Where's the chemical storeroom? It's around here somewhere. While I'm here, I should probably heal. I mean, inventory management in this game bothers me less, I think, than it does in a lot. In that, like, you know, I can just go build piles of junk. It would be nice if it was a bit more elegant. But, oh, I tell you what I should do. I should Google where the recycler comes from. That would save me a lot of time. Right, there's some vanadium. There we go. I mean, that's cool, right? Like, it's cool they have to come back here and get the thing. And of course, that's all like none of that was really explained to me. It's not very complicated, but in modern terms, that's quite quite a demanding thing for it to ask me to do, to go back to another level to find an item that I could only know was there because I researched it. You just bought System Shock 2, Patrick. It's worth looking into mods. I'm using all the visual mods, but none of the gameplay mods. There is a... If you Google like recommended System Shock 2 mods, there's, I think it's called like systemshock2.org or something. They have a list of recommendations, and I think it's probably quite a good list. There's a gameplay balance mod that I didn't install, but I think if you're playing it for the first time, probably is worth installing because it probably makes it better. I've not used it, but I suspect, like I'm kind of interested in the state of the mechanics. Right, let's Google this. System Shock 2. What's it called? A recycler, I think. Because I think it might be on this deck. In which case, that would be really convenient. Let's have a look. Where do I get it? The replicator on the operations deck. Am I on operations? This isn't operations, is it? No, operations is 4. Well, that's terrible. Alright, well we can't do that then. Okay, let's use our final chemical. Of course it's the software that's doing the research, so I don't actually have to do anything. Right, where did we not go? We went that way. We couldn't get through that door because that went to sector D. Was it D? Oh, it looks like it's B according to this. So where can we... Can we not go anywhere else? Oh no, there was a glass thing I could go through. I don't think I picked up any pass cards. Oh. I'm actually not sure where to go next. I went round all there. I went round all there. Let's just go bust through some glass and see what happens. Ah, it's XP up there. Wow, he really deserved killing, didn't he? It's just like, I had no idea I was even there. It's this way. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of monkeys. I need to repair my pistol. Ah, grenade launcher. Nice. Oh, I don't have... Anyone else want some? Oh, ambient sound. It's you don't know these monkeys, man. It's not animal abuse.
What's going on? I thought it was weird when you asked me to send up 16 of my female staffers, but what have you done with them? I'm short-handed up here. Also, have you heard from Watts, Sanger, or Polito? It's like everyone's gone on vacation and didn't bother to tell me.
16 female staff. Gross. It's kind of dark. I like how dark it is.
Research complete.
Ah, research complete. Placing this toxin in a regulator will reduce animal growth. Right, let's find a regulator then. Alright, now I can research the monkey brain. Now I've got the research skill, I can research this monkey brain as well. That's a good idea. I should definitely do that. Ah, hydroponics B. Okay, cool. I needed that. What's that? Oh, that's the place I could get to before where I fought the other cyber midwife. Okay, it's a bit of a maze. It's not a very large level, this, I don't think. Oh, joy. Alright, am I just going to get toxined? Or am I just going to shotgun all these eggs? How many toxin hypos do I have? 2. Not very many. That ceiling is glass, I think. Oh.
Babies must sleep. Babies must rest.
Wise is the one who does not waken them. Leave this place now, or we will wound you.
As you have us.
Right? Yeah, it's dark. It's really dark. Oh, God. I still say to my kids, like, little ones need lots of rest to grow big and strong. I say that to my children all the time. They don't know what I'm quoting. I just dodged into that. Oh god, my shotgun's broken. This is a bad situation. Health. Health. That's a meme now, right? Health. Oh shit, it's broken. Means I can't repair it. Oh, that's a problem. Right? Well, never mind. That's my own foolish fault. Stupid shot. Alright, any more? Toxin hypo. Motherfuckers. Working laser pistol. Could be useful. Oh, that one had a treasure in it. That is also an unresearched object. Cannot research 2 objects at once. Okay, sure, let's suspend that one. Alright, I'm gonna have to go hit up some chemical storerooms soon to do some of this research. Right, what I'm supposed to be doing is plugging 4 things into 4 things, right? 4 canisters of toxin into 4 toxin. Oh, hello.
Don't do it to me. Please don't. I won't tell. I won't. Choose somebody else. I don't want to change, please.
Don't cry. Don't cry. Soon you'll be the mother of them all.
Speaking of dark. I could use my... I have a medical desk thing, yeah, I could use that to fix this. I feel like I got punished for that last time. Yeah, it was a bit cheap, wasn't it? Yeah, the monkey sneaks up behind me. Oh, there's a chemical store. Okay. I feel a bit lost and full of stuff. What's that doing? That's going to need osmium. I do have like yeah, it is quite Star Trek-y, yeah. It's got quite big like big corridors and oh god. I'm not sure. I wonder if what kind of weapon is good against them. Oh, my shotgun broke. God damn it. What am I going to do about that? I guess I could use a grenade launcher. What's the hotkey for that? Oh, it requires heavy 1, which I don't have. Oh, good. Perfect. Alright, well, let's just blast away with this gun then, shall we? That didn't seem substantially less effective than the shotgun, to be honest.
I found these schematics on Dr. Miller's desk. They're plans for the kind of cyber modification that's been illegal for 40 years. It's not like him. I was going to talk to him about it, and then I noticed the DNA sequence he spec'd for the prototype. It's mine.
Oh, there's some more vanadium and antimony that I don't need. I need osmium. What was the other one? This one needs osmium, which isn't here. And this one needs fermium. Is that here? No. Oh, what? XP in the bin? Oh, man. What's in here? Oh, camera. I talked a little bit about looting when we were talking about Doom Eternal, but this game is again I talked about like this game being very influential. And it certainly wasn't the first or only game of its type to do this, but I think it was quite an important one. That, like, fundamentally, like if you think about BioShock, this game is the same as BioShock. It's about rooting around in corners looking for stuff. You go into a room, you search all the corners of the room, you try to find all of the. It's weird that there isn't a thing like one of those computers to overload in here. Would have thought there would be. You root around in the corners. You look for ammunition. You look for health. You look for permanent upgrades. It's that sort of game. And what that means in the case of this game is that you're paying a lot of attention to the environment, right? Well, sort of. You're like, you're. Oh, I really need to go and sort my inventory out. Actually, where's the fastest way back? Oh, I'm miles away from the overlay, aren't I? Let's go this way. Way too much stuff. I didn't find a key card though, did I? Maybe I need to go and do the first machine before I can do any of the others. What that means is that I'm constantly, when I go into a room, I'm looking for I'm looking for containers and looking for anything I can loot or steal or whatever. Oh, I wasn't researching that one. Oh, let's do that one as well. Oh, that one doesn't require any. Okay. Oh, should I go and get the osmium and the fermium? Yeah, let's have a look. Actually, hang on. I'll finish sorting my inventory. Grenade launcher. Grenades too, to be honest, if I'm not carrying the grenade launcher. Oh, my broken shotgun. Done. Look for osmium, fermium. It's not deck 3, is it? Deck 2 has both osmium and fermium. Hooray. And I think in this game, given the level design of this game, it makes a lot of sense to... I'm not sure if this was their explicit design intention. I don't know whether it was like cleverly designed to achieve this aim or just emergently designed because that's the way that they built it. But the reason this sort of game works is because there's a synergy between scavenging for equipment and exploring, right? Like they suit each other well. And one of the things I see a lot in more recent games that have taken inspiration is an emphasis on searching for items that doesn't really suit the environment that it's taking place in. I was talking about Bioshock Infinite earlier, actually, and that's a really good example of that. Like, Bioshock Infinite is a Bioshock game, right? So it's all about scavenging for items and looking around in every single corner to try and find things. But actually, Bioshock Infinite is a game about looking up. Bioshock Infinite's a game about the sky and... God. How long ago did I save? No, not too long ago. Bioshock Infinite is fundamentally a game about looking up into the sky. You know, it's all about floating platforms and flying between them, and it has, you know, the whole point of it is that, like, it's not about grubbing around on the floor in the dark. And so, like, Bioshock Infinite shouldn't encourage you to look in corners and desks and things. It should have power-ups attached to balloons that are flying in the sky, and when you look around, you can pick them up, you know, because that's where the game wants you to look. And actually, I find myself a lot of the time in games not seeing the vistas that they're presenting me with, because I'm not looking in the right direction, because I'm mechanically incentivized to look on the ground rather than in the sky, or up at the, you know, maybe there's a beautiful crystal cathedral or something that I could look up. God, there's millions of guys here. Oh hey, turns out you can beat them up with the... Oh, that would make it easier. I don't really think the wrench would be effective in that situation. Jesus. No, the music is unrelated to the enemies. The music is playing because it's a part of the level where there's music, I think. Although, isn't that the MedSci music? Why didn't it stop? Am I just getting confused? I think that's the MedSci music. And like, I think this isn't really a game that... This isn't really a game where you need to look up. It's not really a... Oh, yeah. Okay. Much more excited about fighting these things now. You'd think I'd remember that, wouldn't you? Like, what weapon is effective against what enemy? But no. Where am I going? Oh, I'm really low on health though. It's a high risk, high reward strategy. Oh yeah, there was something in here, wasn't there? I remember looking up. I looked up through the window and saw a corpse. Aha. Okay, so she didn't. The cyber midwife down here didn't respawn. Aha!
Good. You'll notice that the biomatter on the walls and in the elevator shaft has been impacted by the introduction of the biotoxin. Now do the same with the other 3 regulators.
Okay. I don't know where the other 3 regulators are, and I don't think I have a keycard that'll let me get to them. So I'm not sure what to do now. Because I can't get into Sector D. I can get into Sector B, but I didn't notice a regulator there. Okay, so Sector A and Sector D are separate maps. So there must be a keycard somewhere on the level that I've missed. Oh, there we go. Ah, you've best learn how to target midwives. Resistant to incendiary and anti-personnel weapons, but vulnerable to armor piercing. Damage increased by 25%. Subject was originally a human female, cybernetically modified. An auxiliary CPU in the base of the spine serves as a controller, overriding most signals sent to the subject's natural brain. Both speed and musculature have been mechanically enhanced, and the cybernetic apparatus serves as physical shielding for the softer human tissues. Arm-piercing round should be effective. Okay, I think I can drop that. Ugh. Right, Fermium. Monkey brain. Yeah, you're right. There is sometimes loot up if you're playing particularly like a psychic who can telekinetically grab things. Then yeah, there is occasionally something high up to get for that. But it's relatively rare, and it's not a major factor in the game's like mechanics or theme, right? And it's fundamentally not like modern level design tends to try and like build interesting, exciting looking things. Who's talking to me? Tends to sort of try to build exciting sights and sounds into the world, but then doesn't encourage or reward, or in some cases even allow you to look at it, which I found a bit baffling. I genuinely don't know where to go next. I guess I'll just wander around and see if I can find something that I've missed. Because I don't have any keycards. I thought applying that toxin might open like a new option for me. Oh, I never went down here. I don't think. Yeah, I never went down here. Is there a ladder? Yeah. Oh. Oh joy. Oh god. This is a bad environment. I'm sad about this situation. Oh, I've got 7 health. Guess I'll use some healing. Can I just shoot her from up here? I don't think I can I? Because she's not going to be in. Oh, maybe I can like zap her from. Yeah, okay.
You have left us.
Oh, ah. Oh, is the music dynamic to combat? I didn't think it was. I thought the music was only the environment.
We seek.
I never noticed that it had dynamic combat music.
Your flesh will welcome.
I'm a tactical genius. Alright, let's just shoot him, shall we? Oh. Totally unaware of me. Oh. Oh, look, I figured out how to trigger those eggs. What a genius I am.
Power drained.
Oh, it's also a bad situation. Oh, did I finish my monkey brain? Yeah, you've learned how to target monkeys for maximal damage. The monkey is genetically normal, an African squirrel monkey. However, it appears to have been subject to a large number of chemical and surgical procedures, both before and after birth. These procedures have enhanced brain size and connectivity, as well as enhanced the myelination of the central nervous system. The skull of the creature has been surgically removed, presumably to prevent cranial pressure and allow quick experimental access. Neural construction of the creature is similar in nature to psionic human neural structure. The monkeys are likely to have psionic capability. They're vulnerable to all attacks which affect standard organic creatures. Oh, and I can't. My research software's run out, so I can't research that pod thing.
Submit to the biomass,
and your suffering will end.
Oh, I can throw that away now. Ah! Idiot. Oh, and I should have run around and triggered all the other eggs as well. Oh, what's that? An ice pick. Ah, Sector A keycard. Perfect. Ah! Right, fine. Wow, they're all toxic. Oh no! Oh, that's not good! Hang on. Oh no, but I saved! Oh, okay, well, I guess I just shotgun them all, right? Right, this is going to break my gun quite badly. I think. Wow, that is incredibly inefficient. Oh no, what am I doing? Do you think there's a toxin hypo in here? Because it'd be really helpful if there was. Oh no, I can't get to those bodies either. Because I can't, if I kill all the eggs, I can't loot any of them. If there was one toxin hypo, that'd be really helpful. Version 1 modification software.
I've chosen Nurse Bloom as the new mother to our children. She is sweet and kind, healthy and a perfect match. She has a child of her own back on Earth. She knows what it is to care for their young. Ave Maria. If she only knew what the future held.
She shared the joys of the many.
I love that guy's like incel manifesto. She is sweet and kind as a trad wife should be. Do I want to go in there? You know what? I think I might come back when I've got a toxin hypo, rather than just because I've got so little ammo and what's the right word? You know, the condition of my gun. I think blasting my way through is actually a bad idea. That'll teach me to quick save so much. All right, where am I going? I got the Sector A keycard, so I can go back now there. So let's just go and sort my gear out, and then probably shouldn't play too much longer. It's quite late, isn't it? There's some useful stuff here, but I think I probably don't need right now. Don't need a spare swift boost. Oh, I need to recharge at the recharge station. What was I going to buy? Oh, so I need repair 3 to repair my broken shotgun, which I think is probably a good idea. Hey, buddy. Oh, okay, so if I've finished repairing, that means I can continue researching that. Use the osmium on it. Do I want to buy anything else? Probably not at the moment. Just leave it for now. Oh, I want to buy a heavy one actually, so I can use that rocket launcher as the grenade launcher. There was a grenade launcher. Did I chuck it over there? So that means I can now. So you repair things basically in exactly the same way you do anything else through the weird hacking interface. There we go. Oh, let's put it back up to condition 2. Perfect. I thought the reason it broke was I thought 0 was broken, so I was firing it on 2 and I shouldn't have been. Wait, is that right? No, I think 0 is broken, but it must have gone down from 2 to 1 and then from 1 to 0 without me noticing. Alright, where are we going? Sector A. Nope. Incorrect. Speaking of which, I probably ought to repair that pistol. I need to find a good replicator to hack as well. The gaming, like, I think it's not something I wouldn't at all say it's bad, but it's something that's not to my preference. Is a mechanic in games that... Was that a toxic one? If your game includes any sort of mechanic where you can unlock a discount or something of that nature, it's effectively discouraging you from spending money until you've unlocked the discount. Like, if it's the sort of game where I can hoard my money and spend it later, then if your mechanics work by you know, like in this case I used a special ability that allowed me to unlock like a 20% discount. And she said there were 3, didn't she? Three things, so I don't need these other 2. Oh. What the hell? Put it down for some reason. Okay. Why can't I... It's really weird. And I think if you want money, if you want spending money to be a key part of your mechanics, I should buy that antitoxin.
Please make your selection.
Shall I hack this one? Let's hack this one.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
It's not good odds.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Reinitialized.
Thank you for choosing Value Wrap.
So it puts it in there. You have to pick it up. It's really cute. That was a toxic egg, wasn't it? But it didn't toxic me. Why did that one? That's really weird. I don't understand. Wow. You can just bombast your way through the game, not caring about discounts, right?
Marie, this is urgent.
Oh, cool.
It seems the AI from Tau City has integrated itself into the ship's computer. I picked up this fragment today. Not only that, but after I found the fragment, I returned to my lab to find it ransacked. I must see you. You're the only one I trust now. I have a theory about this AI. I tried to find information about the variant papers regarding the events on Citadel Station. I think I'm on...
Log fragment error. Please re-record.
Insolent. Insolent. Oh, Jesus, another robot. Maybe I should have brought a functioning energy. Oh, crap. Maybe I should have brought a functioning energy pistol with me. That probably would have been a good idea. Oh dear God. I don't have enough AP to... Oh, that is not an efficient... Not an efficient way to kill robots. Where did he come from?
Research complete.
Is everyone getting the sense that there's something more going on here? Oh. Oh, damn. I just ate it. I've researched it and it's turned out to be a healing item. So by right-clicking on it to find out what it was, I ate it. Oh well, it's fine. It's not a great hacking system. I used to make quite a lot of study of hacking systems. There are 3 main strategies for it, right? You can do just a straight check, like, is your skill high enough? You can do a kind of mini game. like the Pipe Mania in Bioshock is a minigame version. You know, like you have to complete the minigame. And then but this one is kind of like not really either of those things. It's just you just kind of click buttons and wait. I don't think it's the best. There's pistols everywhere here. God. Let's unload that. Not sure I need all this crap that's lying around. It's a new kind of grenade. Incendiary grenades. I like this music. I hope there are no more of those robots, because I'm in real trouble if there are. The most recent game that's heavily inspired by this... Oh, Hydroponics D. Oh, what an assault rifle. A very good quality assault rifle. Unfortunately, I don't have the standard weapon skill to use it. The most recent game that's very heavily inspired by this is Prey 2016, which has absolutely nothing to do with the original game Prey. It's very confusing. Like, what's the right word? Like Bethesda got them to use the IP, which is really confusing because it has nothing to do with it. And I swear, must have reduced their sales because people who wanted System Shock 3 didn't know to get it from Prey. And people who wanted Prey were disappointed when they got System Shock 3, so it was a really confusing move to make. But anyway, Prey 2016 is very like this. I think it's the only game since this that I felt really nailed that feel.
Why do you go so slowly? Do you think this is some kind of game? It is only through luck and my continued forbearance that you are even alive. Now move.
It's only because of her continued forbearance I'm even alive. How am I doing? I've got quite a lot of toxin hypos now, but... That's a weird mechanic. I'm not sure about that mechanic. It just costs you a toxin hypo every time you... I don't like it. I'm not sure what it's really trying to... I mean, it's kind of risk-reward, right? But the risk is so mechanical. It's just literally, well, if you guess wrong, you have to use a toxin hypo. It just seems a bit weird. Could just blast them. Mind, it's fine. Can always buy more. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I found some more AP. Okay, that's fine. It's very. I mean, it's fundamentally although it kind of plays like an FPS, it is fundamentally an RPG. So. Ammunition selection is the combats are kind of easy if you just pick the right bullets. They were. Oh god! Right. Okay. Oh, could I wear? Ah, yeah. Nuts. You know what there was back here? A hazmat suit. I could wear a hazmat suit. Which gives me toxic resistance. That would help. I wonder if it prevents the toxic entirely or what it does. Let's go get it. And let's leave the combat armor by the exit so we don't forget about it. So this one. Oh, I can drink that. Ah, I can't use that assault rifle yet, so let's leave that. Where there? Am I going to remember that? I might do. I wonder if that means I can just walk up to the eggs now. Let's find out. Hey buddy. Oh, one toxin, okay. Oh, bloody hell. Right, okay, sure. Axe. Right, then okay. Would you reckon there's more toxin in the next room? Probably. This is very exciting. Must be really exciting to watch. It's the principle of the thing though, right? You've got to clear out all of the hydroponic rooms. I got the D key card, didn't I? I wonder if there's a thing to put in here, or if there isn't. Cyber modules. Okay, so 3 cyber modules. That's an interesting question as well. Scaling, like, I got 3 cyber modules for exploring that room, but it's giving me 13 every time I complete a main quest objective. So it's not really a very significant number of modules that it's given me. And that's good. That's a good number of. Oh god damn it! It's a good number of a reward should be significant but small. Cyber modules are a good reward. So it's fine that it's given me enough to care about. It's given me enough to care about, but not enough to like really make any difference in the balancing. Because this is a skill-based game, it's I'm gonna have to just kill these things, aren't I? Started doing that ages ago. Never mind. Anti-radiation hypos, that's not what anyone needs. Right. What's that? Oh. Unresearched object. Seems like the kind of place where there should be a camera. Oh, nice. Oh, is this the front? Do you think this is the front of the ship? Yeah, I suppose it probably is, right? It's difficult to tell whether it's the front or the end, but that's really nice. I like that. Nothing in here though. Where's my loot? You'd think there would be some loot. Apparently not. Sorry, I was thinking about thresholds, right? It's interesting to look at like min-max maths for questions like leveling up. So 3 cyber modules isn't enough to buy anything. Terrible at dodging. 3 cyber modules isn't enough to buy anything in the set. I mean, like there are things very early in the game that cost a tiny amount. So what 3 cyber modules is doing is like tipping you over a threshold that allows you to buy something you couldn't otherwise have bought. That's the practical difference it's making to you. It's not XP you can spend. And that's even more true in the sort of game that where you level up. You know, like if it's a standard D&D leveling curve where like you need exponentially more XP to reach each level. When you complete a side quest, say the main quests give XP and the side quests give XP, which is a fairly standard setup. then the situation that you've got... Alright, I'll leave, I think... Oh no, I'll bring that with me, actually. A radiation suit. Use on that. And recharge. Oh, and I ought to buy heavy 1. And I ought to buy energy 1. Oh, chemical needed. Gallium. I'm about a point of strength and endurance, I think. And maybe another point of agility? Yeah, because that means I move faster. And then I should start saving up to use assault rifles, probably. So, okay, yeah, I mean, so there's... Right, so I haven't spent all my cyber modules, but pretend for sake of argument that I have, then those 3 cyber modules I found mean that I have arrived at cyber modules... Sorry, I've arrived at that skill, like, X earlier than I would have done otherwise. What's that, CJax? Stat, you can lock stick. Yeah, I mean, that's Pures, right? Like...
Hi there. Please make your selection for choosing value wrap.
I'm not personally super into challenge gameplay. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's really good and interesting. I think I'm going to get a few more of these because
Selection value wrap.
I'm not personally super into doing challenge gameplay. I guess I have sort of weird challenges. Like my Rome 2 playthrough is sort of challenge playthrough because I'm playing in a really weird way, but I'm also playing on easy to make it not be a difficult playthrough. So it's not really a challenge playthrough, I don't think. Like, I don't think... Kind of the point of challenge playthroughs is to do something difficult, right? And I'm not really doing anything difficult. Yeah, I need to go down there and find that.
Are you of us?
Go find that loot now. I've got some toxic hypers. Okay, so I've got the thing on. So I just need to run around and trigger all the eggs. Boom. Ah ha ha. Stupid eggs. Toxic hypo. What have we got there? 3 cyber modules. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm 3 closer to my next objective. And I think that concept of thresholds is actually really important because it means that a lot of things don't have the statistical effect that you might expect them to. Rewards don't necessarily work in the way you expect. Bonuses don't necessarily work in the way that you expect. Like hypothetically, imagine a game where you need like strength. Actually, yeah. Let's take the RuneScape example where you need an attack skill to wield weapons. A particular attack skill to wield a weapon, and then you have let's say a mechanical bonus which reduces. I don't think this is a very good example, actually, now that I think about it. It's not a very clear example, is it? Sorry, I'm trying to focus on too many different things at once. You're having to do a run of Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet because another streamer raged because person locked themselves in an ending loop, and by that I mean no matter what choice person makes, the ending will be the same. What? Let's leave that here. Wait, are we not? We're not finished yet because we need to go to Hydroponics D. Oh. Oh, there's another thing I can research here. There's some sodium for some reason. Don't know why that's there. of my useful things. Okay, I'm going to leave this assault rifle here for now. Oh, actually, let's check the stat thing. The weapons thing. I don't think I can get. Oh, there's no weapons thing. That's fine. Ah, research complete. Right, we finally managed to research hybrids. So I could have done that right at the start of the game by buying research skills straight away. DNA structure indicates this organism is a hybrid of a human host and a parasitic organism. Although the parasite, resembling a yard-long worm, has deteriorated to a stage beyond useful analysis, the effects of the process are evident. Severe deterioration of high-level mental processes is caused by tumorous growths along the spinal column and brainstem. The non-human tissues seem to be formed of a composite of small worm-like creatures that have adapted to the host body and taken over a majority of motor control and decision-making functions. There also appears to be a direct stimulation of the autonomic nervous and glandular systems. Hence the organism produces... Hey buddy. I'm trying to read. Let's try that again. Hence the organism produces exceptional amounts of adrenaline and endorphins, making it remarkably strong and aggressive. What remains cannot really be called a human at all. The damage done to the host by the process is irrevocable, and the organism now functions with no sense of morality or hesitation. Right, I think I'd probably better stop there. I think that's probably a good place to leave it. We're very close to like the major plot reveal of this game, but I don't think I have time to do all of Hydroponics D, so I have to do it, what, next Monday? Next Monday. Next Monday, exciting plot. Oh. Hey buddy. Why is it that there was that one in the cargo base that just killed me like 8 times, and yet sometimes I can just... I don't understand the combat in this game, I'm no good at it. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back with more of it on Monday, I think. I'm enjoying playing this. I've played it for a while. So I'm going to save it and say goodnight. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully see you again soon.